One size fits all. Great for socks, bad for beliefs. Hey guys, thank you for joining me this week on Unapologetically Unscripted. This week, as the quote alluded to, I wanted to talk to you about a one size fits all belief. And, the quote said it best, it's great for socks, but bad for beliefs. And I know that a lot of us in the property management industry, specifically the student housing industry, are in our budget worlds right now and our rate setting worlds. And October 1st is swiftly arriving. It'll be here before we can blink our eyes. And that's when we launch our renewal campaigns and our renewal rates and really start our whole leasing cycle all over again. And so I saw that quote and I really thought, wow, it really speaks to our industry because, a lot of our big box management companies take a one size fits all approach, and we like to cookie cutter it and place it amongst the country. And, I want to speak really to the managers of assets and to the regional managers of assets. And I really want to encourage you guys in today's climate and in today's economy and just our world in general. We have faced a lot, and with different variants of the virus coming out and the pandemic affecting us as a whole. And some of us, a lot of us have gotten, really great occupancies in spite of what we've been faced with. And I myself served in Florida for 8 weeks this week at an asset for turn and during this, and it was very challenging. There was move-in day challenges where someone moved into an apartment where someone was COVID positive and that resident didn't communicate it to us. And those parents were, immunocompromised. And so there's just a ton of things outside of the norm that our industry is facing. And I wanted to speak today to the managers of the assets, to owners and investors that are listening, to regional managers, RVPs. You guys really need to do you yourself a favor, your teams a favor, and your owners, investors. Don't just succumb. Don't give in. Yes, we want to drive rates. Yes, we want rent increases. That's what we're in business to do, is to make money. It's our job as the management companies and the regional managers and property managers of these assets is to grow and to create revenue. But the cookie cutter approach and the one size fits all approach is detrimental, in my opinion, to the success of assets. And I see it time and time again, where no matter where my team and I serve in the country, I have learned over and over again, well, that's how we've always done it. I'm like, why are we doing this? Well, that's how we've always done it. And we as a country can't continue to do things as we've always done it. I mean, we've seen that through this pandemic. And so I really want to encourage those managers that maybe avoid conflict or, are very non-confrontational folks. And for those RMs that are new and growing, I really want to encourage you guys to really stand firm and plant your feet in the sand and say, listen, owners, listen, investors, listen, big box management company higher ups that I'm pitching my budgets to. I serve in this market on a daily basis, and this is what I'm seeing. And this is what, my asset needs. And when you're thinking about those approaches, I want you to think about not just your asset, but your market, but not just your market, your team. Everybody's teams are different. And so maybe you have that office maintenance or that awesome maintenance guy and maintenance team that, goes above and beyond, and they are critical to the success of your renewals. Maybe you have something that others don't have that you're not seeing, you're not looking beyond it. And I really want to encourage you guys during this time. I know you're fresh off of the turn, and you're fresh off of the everything going on, that you're like tired and that you're worn out and that you've been pushing and pushing and pushing to get through turn and move in, and you've made it there. So you're a little bit exhausted. And I really want to encourage you guys to please take the time during this budgeting process and during this rate setting season before you kick off your renewals and reflect on what sets your asset apart, and know that a cookie cutter approach and a cookie cutter one size fits all program is not going to be necessarily what best suits your property and your residents. And so for the RMs and the RVPs and the higher ups, owners, investors, what I want to say to you is, listen, Listen to what your teams are telling you. Look at your teams as a whole and what are their strengths and what are their weaknesses and where do you really need to capitalize on those variants to be successful. And instead of taking a blanket approach, I have had that in my career where I had 5 assets in 5 different markets and an owner that was like, we're going to do this and we're going to do this across the board. Well, guess what? In some markets, there's not a football team. Some markets, they don't tailgate. Some markets, it's high technology that you're speaking to. And so really, I just wanted to put this out there this week. It's a short episode, and I just wanted to give you guys my 2 cents on really persevering, standing strong, and really reflect on what is your market specific to you, what speaks to your resident base, what speaks to the students that go to that university, what speaks to that university, and what can you do differently that you can capitalize on that doesn't cost a ton of money, that really can set you apart. And I really encourage you guys to not just sit down and accept a one-size-fits-all mentality. I encourage you to think about what your needs are that are different than the whole, the masses. And so another quote I'll leave you guys with, and I'm going to wrap this one up, it's super short, but is, don't follow the masses. Sometimes the M is silent. So thanks, guys, for listening. I hope you have a great week, and I look forward to talking to you next week. Take care and happy budget season. Thanks. Hey, guys, if you like this episode, please hit like and subscribe.